So, a friend of mine sent me this article yesterday, and I just wanted to share it because it serves as just an amazing example as to how NASA and the entire space exploration narrative and transhumanism are very much interwoven and interlinked once you really step back and look at it. So, and this article really highlights how this can be. It's from the Daily Mail, and the title is "Would You Choose to Live Forever? Age-reversing pill that NASA wants to give to astronauts on Mars will begin human trials within 6 months." And subheading says, scientists have discovered a key signaling process in DNA repair. They've used this process in the development of a drug to reverse aging. Trials on mice found that the pill repaired DNA damage after a week. NASA wants a new technology to protect its astronauts from solar radiation. So, scientists have made a discovery that could lead to a revolutionary drug that actually reverses aging. The drug could help damaged DNA to miraculously repair and even protect NASA astronauts on Mars by protecting them from solar radiation. A team of researchers developed the drug after discovering a key signaling process in DNA repair and cell aging. During trials on mice, the team found that the drug directly repaired DNA damage caused by radiation exposure or old age. The cells of the old mice were indistinguishable from the young mice just after 1 week of treatment, said lead author Professor David Sinclair. Human trials of the pill will begin within 6 months. This is the closest we are to a safe and effective anti-aging drug that's perhaps only 3 to 5 years away from being on the market if the trials go well, said Professor Sinclair. The work has drawn the attention of NASA, which is considering the challenge of keeping its astronauts healthy during a 4-year mission to Mars. Even on short missions, astronauts experience accelerated aging from cosmic radiation, suffering from muscle weakness, memory loss, and other symptoms when they return. On a trip to Mars, the situation would be far worse. 5% of the astronauts' cells would die, and the chances of cancer would approach 100%. That's no good. Professor Sinclair and his colleague, Dr. Lindsay Wu, were the winners in NASA's iTech competition in December last year. We came with a solution for a biological problem and won the competition out of 300 entries. Cosmic radiation is not only an issue for astronauts. We are all exposed to it on board aircraft, with a London, Singapore, Melbourne flight roughly equivalent in radiation to a chest X-ray. I did not know that, if that's true. In theory, the anti-aging pill could mitigate any effects of DNA damage for frequent flyers. So, see, it's not just about space travel. The other group that could benefit from this work is survivors of childhood cancers. Dr. Wu says 96% of childhood cancer survivors suffer a chronic illness by age 45, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and cancers unrelated to the original cancer. Gonna have to do with all the poisons in the food, water, and the air. Anyways, all of this adds up to the fact that they have an accelerated aging, which is devastating, he said. It would be great to do something about that, and we believe we can with this molecule. The experiments in mice from a team at the University of New South Wales suggest a treatment for these issues is possible through a new drug. While our cells can naturally repair DNA damage, such as damage caused by the sun, this ability declines with age. The scientists identified that the cell signaling molecule NAD+, which is naturally present in every cell in the body, has a key role in protein interactions that control DNA repair. Treating mice with an NAD+ booster, quote-unquote, called NMN, improved their cells' ability to repair DNA damage caused by radiation exposure or aging. For the past 4 years, Professor Sinclair and Dr. Wu have been working on making NMN into a drug substance with their companies Metro Biotech North, NSW, and Metro Biotech International. Human trials will begin this year at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. So there you go. 6 months. So pretty self-explanatory. But there you go. I mean, it just kind of highlights the whole underlying fact that when you really start to learn about what space travel supposedly would entail, or the challenges that it provides, just to human life and to the human body, even going somewhere as relatively close as Mars. And when we understand that this is all it's all a narrative. There is no space, there's no space travel. So, what is kind of the point of all this? In many ways, you can look at just the whole concept of outer space as just sort of an archetypal representation of death and mortality, because that's that's what it is. It's just the most extreme environment to try and put a human being into, not just in the extreme, heat and cold and the vacuum of space with no air to breathe. And it would literally, if you were to just float out without a spacesuit, it would just, the vacuum itself would just suck you apart. But then, of course, there's all the solar radiation and other, radiations. Of course, they don't mention the Van Allen belt here, but that's a different kind of radiation. So it's all kind of just an excuse to constantly be putting forth this kind of propaganda about, well, you have to overcome these challenges, when they're biological challenges, they're aging challenges, it's the transhumanist gospel, it's the transhumanist agenda. These things have to be overcome in order to even go, to try and realistically, I mean, the chances of cancer being 100% just to go to Mars. So who's going to want to do that? So it's really just inseparable from the idea that eventually, in order to keep pursuing these goals, which ever since, the 50s and 60s and the quote-unquote space race began, this has been, the part of human destiny, really, is to go to the stars and colonize the stars and seek out new habitable planets and seek other forms of life and all these things. Not possible unless humanity starts to transcend, starts to evolve, starts to, evolve to the next step and take some quantum leaps. And of course, this is only just one little stage. And it's, ultimately, for them to be talking about getting to things that are light years away, to be getting to solar systems and other galaxies that are millions of light years away, it's honestly just not even possible from an engineering standpoint, with ships and fuel and propulsion systems. There's a lot of concepts out there, but ultimately, when you really break it down, the only way to really make that kind of space travel a reality is to achieve a higher dimensional existence or capability. Essentially ascending to a higher spiritual plane. And that, I think, is what the whole point of it is, and that's what space itself is an archetypal representation of, is the spiritual barrier, or the dimensional restrictions of our mortal human bodies and our mortal human existence right now. So once again, we can see that the entire scientific materialistic paradigm just serves as a segue. It just serves as a stepping stone back into a Luciferian belief system, all based on apotheosis, all based on the transhumanist dream of somehow, transcending our current limitations and living forever, as the title of the article suggests. So there you go. drug to reverse aging. Trials on mice found that the pill repaired DNA damage after a week. NASA wants a new technology to protect its astronauts from solar radiation. So, scientists have made a discovery that could lead to a revolutionary drug that actually reverses aging. The drug could help damaged DNA to miraculously repair and even protect NASA astronauts on Mars by protecting them from solar radiation. A team of researchers developed the drug after discovering a key signaling process in DNA repair and cell aging. During trials on mice, the team highlights how this can be. It's from the Daily Mail, and the title is "Would You Choose to Live Forever? Age-reversing pill that NASA wants to give to astronauts on Mars will begin human trials within 6 months." And subheading says, scientists have discovered a key signaling process in DNA repair. They've used this process in the development. It serves as just an amazing example as to how NASA and the entire space exploration narrative and transhumanism are very much interwoven and interlinked once you really step back and look at it. So, in this article really a friend of mine sent me this article yesterday, and I just wanted to share it because it